What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to react to number one to a statement that Candice Parker made, and she don't think that men should be allowed to coach in the WNBA. And this was covered by another podcast, a guy, KTV, right? And I like his content, KTV, and so I'm reacting to both Candace Parker's statement and his reaction to Candace Parker's statement. And I said before on different occasions that I agree. I don't think that men should coach in the WNBA. Um, and my reason for that is because I don't think it's fair that men are allowed to coach women, and then women are not given the same opportunity to coach men. But when I listen to KTV's his reaction to what Candace Parker said, he had a different approach, right? He said that it was as long as you can find somebody, people who qualify for the job, then they should be allowed to do it. Right. And that's true to a certain extent. But if the women are not given the same opportunities, number one, there's a ton of women who are qualified to coach in the WNBA and coach women in the college rank, right? So that won't be an issue. Like finding people who can coach these young ladies at the WNBA level and at the college level is not going to be an issue. It's not like they have a shortage of coaches. You know, the WNBA, I think, have like 13 teams. So it's definitely not a shortage of women who qualify to coach at the WNBA level. So that's one thing. But women are not given the same opportunities to coach at the men's level. You know, Becky Hammond coached, where she coached at? She coached with the Spurs, for a while and did a really good job. I think she won like a G League championship when she was with the Spurs. And Becky Hammond also said that she never had any issues with any of the players when she coached. She said the issues, and I'm gonna play what Becky Hammond said, but basically she said the issue comes from the people above other coaches, and it comes from like management and people up in those areas, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play this guy's podcast, the audio from his podcast, KTV Watch. Like I said, he has some good content, but I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna come back and react to it.
All right, here we go again. Here we go again. The WNBA, the gift that keeps on giving. Y'all always make something about sexuality, orientation, race, something. It can't just be about basketball. Who's the better player? Who's better at the job? It can't be about that. Y'all want to always go deep dive into all these other things that have nothing to do with the actual game. It's always about something else. Here we have Hall of Fame legend, one of the best to ever do it, Candice Parker, talking about how she's upset that the WNBA is hiring men as coaches. She doesn't want men coaching in the league. She wants an all-female coach league, basically, is what it seems like. This is wild, man. This is wild work. Like, I don't get, why do y'all always have to make it about something? Y'all make it hard to root for y'all, bro. Y'all really do.
I don't think it's wild work. Like like I said, the NBA is all men coaches. It's so why would it be such a stretch for the WNBA to be all women coaches? If that, I just don't think it's wild work. So I think that if the WNBA had all women coaches, wouldn't be a bad idea for me.
And I'm rooting for the WNBA. I want the league to come back. I want a deal to get done. Y'all make it so hard. Like, y'all just, this is why people be saying y'all not likable. This is why people be saying this stuff about y'all. We're going to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. So we're going to get into this article, and then I'm going to play a video for you guys. Here in the article, Candice Parker calls out WNBA coaching style. And let's get into this part. In a recent episode of former Los Angeles Sparks star Candice Parker's podcast, Post Moves with Candice Parker and Aaliyah Boston, the LA legend was honest in challenging the current WNBA coaching cycle. Now, this is not the first, she's not the first person we've heard this from. We've heard other people complaining that men are getting jobs as coaches in the WNBA. Absolutely ridiculous.
Rightfully so.
Here it says, I just think that the WNBA is a copycat league and has had success in coaches that have come from the NBA, Parker said. But the problem that I have is a lot of the coaches that are going to come from the NBA are not going to be women.
None of the coaches that come from the NBA are going to be women. With the exception, I mean, you don't have any women head coaches, like I said, with the exception of Becky Hammon. Becky Hammons was on the staff of the Spurs. I'm trying to think if Christy Tolliver, if she was on the Wizards staff. I think she was. She was on the Wizards staff, Christy Tolliver, but for the most part, like they're not going to hire, the fact that they're hiring men to coach in the women's league, but women can't coach in the men's league, I think it's a double standard.
What the hell does it matter? It's about who's best for the job. It's about who can galvanize the troops. Nate Tibbetts came and took the Mercury to the WNBA finals. What does it matter if it's a man or a woman? What does it matter? What?
And look, Nate Tibbetts, right? Not just Nate Tibbetts, but you have some men who coach at the WNBA level who I have never even heard of. And those guys who coach at the WNBA level who I've never heard of wouldn't even get a second look at the at the NBA level. So that to me, I don't think that's cool when you have, like I said, you have women who coach at the college level who could move up to the WNBA. Women who have played in the WNBA who probably could be, who would be good coaches. So I don't think I think it's a double standard. It's not the fact that, it's not like, okay, nobody's qualified, so we can't find coaches. That's not an issue at all. It's you're taking opportunities away from women who are qualified to do the job, and then you're giving it to men, and allowing them to use this as a stepping stone. Because some of the guys who come from the NBA, once they want to be, like, for instance, Michael Cooper. He said he would love to be an NBA head coach, and he coached the Sparks. And part of the reason why he coached the Los Angeles Sparks was so he could use that as a stepping stone, and say that I do have experience. I've won at every level. I've won at every stop, so they use that as a stepping stone.
Does it matter? You guys make this stuff about everything but basketball time and time and time again. It is ridiculous, man. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I just don't see what the infatuation with making the what's supposed to be basketball about everything else every single time. I don't see what the infatuation with it is. Why are y'all so butthurt about a man coaching women's basketball? Like, what does it matter? Do y'all want who's best for the job? I wish y'all would just come out and say, hey, we want this to be a all woman only league, only women trainers, only women staff, equipment managers, women parking attendants.
See, and that's the thing. All right, so he said whoever's best for the job. And you can use that right there. Like when you say, well, we just want whoever best for the job. That's subjective. You can use that as far as like black quarterbacks go in the NFL. You could use that line of thinking to shut the door on anybody. Well, we want to get who's the best owner. We want to get the best owners in the NFL. We want to get the best owners in the NBA. The people who are best qualified. So you can use that line of thinking to discriminate against people, right? And basically, and also, like I said, use that to promote double standards.
women security, women everything. Just say that, bro. Like y'all, because y'all
that wouldn't
y'all
be a
just
bad
being
thing.
weird.
Like if you
It's
had
just
women
weird.
everywhere and they're
Let's take a
getting,
look at what she
you
had to
know,
say in regards to all this, man.
But also, I thought you were, and you still are to me.
She's talking about how she feels Becky Hammon should be coaching in the NBA. And I'm okay with Becky Hammon coaching in the NBA. I hope she does get a job. I think Becky Hammon's a good coach.
Too.
Go ahead.
I do too.
In my eyes, the one that could actually sit in that seat as a head coach in the NBA. And it's unfair, like you said, for me to put all these other stipulations on all these other women when men get the job that aren't qualified all the time. But what is it really going to take organization-wise, person-wise? Because again, I'll say it again. I thought you were the person because of Pop as well, because of the Spurs organization, but also just because of you.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, Candice, it's not a matter if there's candidates out there that could do the job. There are. That's not the issue. It's if you're looking for a reason not to, you can find it. Right. And whether you want to point to the locker room, by the way, I don't go in the Aces locker room. It has nothing to do with gender. Like the locker room, whether it's a NBA locker room, a college locker room, male, female, like it's a very private.
See, I wish, and I understand where Becky Hammon is coming from. Becky Hammon is a really, really good coach. She worked under one of the best coaches in NBA history in Greg Popovich, championship winning coach.
All right, so let me speak on that, right? So that, you know, like Becky Hammon did work under Greg Popovich, and Becky Hammon is a really good coach. But every time people bring up, and I do the same thing, every time we bring up Becky Hammon, we bring up Greg Popovich. When Becky Hammon, her resume on its own is enough to garner the respect that she should be getting, right? Or garner her the opportunities that I think she should be getting. You know, she just recently won her third WNBA championship. And you know, she was an excellent player. She's an excellent coach. So, you know, I don't know how Becky Hammon feels about that. Every time you bring up her name, you got to bring up Popovich. But I do just think that she, she's proven that she is an excellent coach. One of the best in the W.
And she has the knowledge of basketball, period, whether it's working with women or men. I believe Becky Hammon could be a coach in the NBA. I 100% believe that. I believe that. I have no problem with the woman coaching in the NBA. I wish Candice Parker and them would be real and say, shouldn't no man get the coach over here until a woman get the coach over there? Just come out and say that.
I mean, I think I agree right there, right? Because it's a double standard. If Candice Parker and women said that, then that right there, that statement right there would just put everything out on the table, and then it would cause people to speak about the double standard that exists. Like you have Gino Auriemma coaching women at the college at the college level, right? And Gino Auriemma, I don't know how many, at least 11 championships. Do you think that Gino Auriemma would have 11 championships if he coached in men's basketball? You know, that's like some John Wooden type, career. I don't know, man. I just think that it's a double standard.
Just like my thing is, plant your flag in the ground and stand 10 toes. Because all this other stuff y'all be doing is weird, it's corny. Y'all making the game about everything else. Just come out and say exactly what it is. We don't want any men coaching in this league. Just come out and say it, period. Just say it. Own it. Stand on it. Like, this is
private place. It's a very, I don't know, it's a sanctuary, if you will. I'm not trying to go in there and mess with people's rhythms or routines. Like, you do what you got to do, and I'll see you at 38 on the clock, But I think if they wanted it, it would be. I don't know if they really want it. And I think the issue of, can women lead men? Leadership knows no gender. Just like character and bravery and courage and resiliency. That stuff you have to go through stuff and earn that stuff, and you build it up over time. And those are the things that make you really a successful coach. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to go in there and they're going to have pretty solid X's and O's. It's can you make the appropriate timeout? Can you draw a play to get your players look? Can you get them to stay on board when everybody wants to jump ship? Because it's not looking good, it's not feeling good. And I think those unifying factors are what make great leaders. And to me, I mean, women are doing so much more important things than leading basketball teams. They're leading surgical rooms. They're leading platoons in our armed forces. Like, there's a lot of really great things that women can do. And honestly, it's the NBA. I mean, when they want it, they'll get it, because there's people that are ready. Right now, I could sit there and say, I probably said this to you. In some ways, I feel like it could happen in 5 years, and in some ways, not till 35 years. Like, it was just, I know Pop used to get very protective of me when teams would call and be like, well, do they really want to interview, or are they just doing this so they can get some clicks? And, I don't know. I know with each interview, I think you get a little bit better. You get more secure in who you are and your philosophies and what you're capable of. And, there's no doubt in my mind that I could coach the men. And by the way, the problem was never with the players. It's with the decision makers and the other people. The players.
See, the players, the
All right, so that's and I think Becky Hammon said it all. And you think about the experience that she has. She has experience at the in the NBA and with the WNBA, and she basically said the players, she never had problems with the players, so I think it's cool. But I do want to ask people though, do you think that leadership, like when it comes to leadership, it has no bounds? And from her experience, and that's all I could go on, she don't think so. She think that she will be able to motivate and lead men on in a basketball game. So I don't have no reason to doubt her. Like I said, her X's and O's, her motivation, she proved that she could win at both levels. So yeah, I don't have no reason to doubt Becky Hammon. And I agree definitely with Candice Parker. But I do think that women should just say, look, if we can't coach in the NBA, just put that out there, and then that'll cause a larger discussion. That will that'll put a spotlight on that double standard where men can coach women, but women can't coach men. So I agree with Candice Parker and Becky Hammon. And that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, man, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.